What's going on, y'all? Welcome to a new episode of the Late Night Late Show podcast powered by 19 Media Group. It is your host, Ricky and Alex. It's what 9:07 Central Time. It is 10:07 East Coast time. It's 7:07 West Coast time, and it looks like we got some news to talk about on the head coaching front. And spoiler alert, it ain't got shit to do with JJ Redick. Dan Hurley has emerged as the Lakers' number one target, main objective for hiring as head coach. We got to get into it. Alex, he hit me up in the DMs. He's like, bro, we got to talk about this, right? I was like, yeah, you're right. Let me drop the key. Let me spin the block back home and let's hop on, bro. So, Alex, thank you for initiating this, man. It's a hell of a morning. It's a hell of a morning in Lakerland, is it not?
No, I mean, I was saying to you off the record, man. Like before we started, sitting in the kitchen, my son is in his high chair. He's eating yogurt and berries. My wife is like cleaning up the kitchen, and I'm sitting there and like I glance at Twitter and I'm like, oh, this is gonna dominate the news today. And she's like, what happened? And I'm like, the Lakers are looking at a different head coach or whatever. And so uh, we have not heard Bobby Hurley's name, or not by Dan Hurley, his name mentioned at all this entire time. Like this whole year where Darvin was like on the hot seat, not once did we hear anything about UConn, Dan Hurley, nothing. It's and even once they let go of Darvin, it was JJ Redick, and now all of a sudden this morning, Woj is like, Dan Hurley's been the target this entire time. And so if that's true, then as I tweeted earlier, it makes sense because Rob Pelinka, whenever we think Rob's going in one direction, it seems like he's got something else up his sleeve, much like when he traded for D'Angelo Russell and Vando and those guys. We thought he was looking at completely different players. So if
Yep.
this is true, and I know you've mentioned this, I've mentioned this, if like the Lakers need to act like the Lakers and back up the Brinks truck to get whoever they want. I know they're ran like a mom and pop shop, but they are indeed a Fortune 500 company. Like let's
Mm-hmm.
let's use your resources that you have. And I've been a long advocate for go get Spo and offer him 30 million. Like do whatever you need to do, but obviously you can't do that. So
No.
you look at the candidates who are available. Dan Hurley has the most impressive resume, and I was reading that he's turned down other college jobs. He's won 2 chips at UConn. He's turned down other college jobs. He's intrigued by the NBA. And if you're going to
Right.
make the jump from UConn to anywhere else, you don't go to Cleveland. You don't go to these other.
Right.
You don't go to Charlotte.
No,
You
you
go to
don't.
LA. You go to the Lakers if you're going to make that jump. And they're going to apparently back up the Brinks truck and make him an offer that is gargantuan.
I pray. I pray that's the case. It sounds like Woj is using words like massive.
Yeah.
Massive is not that's a lot of zeros before
Yeah.
decimal points. That's what that means to me. So not to pocket watch the Lakers. We just pray, as lifelong Lakers fans, that money don't become an issue with this type of
Yep.
situation. And I think just like it's so funny, man. The Woj said in this article, this is the 20th year anniversary of the Lakers trying to go and get Coach K. 20 years, bro, to the season where that whole saga and episode. And, if you are, probably above the age of 28, you have some memory of this, that whole dilemma, right? Coach K and Kobe. Lakers fans thought that was close. That was going down. That would have been the craziest thing for us in the midst of all of the head coaching turmoil after P-Jax left for the first time. Yeah, for the first
Yeah.
time
First time.
in the Lakers were trying to find the next heir to the throne. And I had mentioned it in the quick little reaction video on the Late Night Lake Show's Twitter account that it took, and I'm sure there was some other stuff, but Coach K said it was the letter from a young Duke fan that convinced him to stay with the franchise and finish his career as Duke's head coach. That can't happen. That can't happen. I'm sorry. In the words of Michael Jordan, fuck them kids. Fuck them. All right. If it comes down to letters, I'm writing a letter too. All right. If we need songs, hell, this diss track time. I have no problem dissing the 8-year-old, the 12-year-old, the 14-year-old if they trying to come between Dan Hurley and the Los Angeles Lakers right now. So that's a warning. Every Billy, every Timmy, every Grayson, every Chad, every Brad, every Matthew, every whatever. Stay the fuck out of grown folks' business. We got shit to figure out right here, and I'm dead ass serious. This is probably one of the most exciting names that we have seen attached to the Lakers. Um,
Yep.
hell, man, probably since P-Jax came back for the second time. It's either
Yeah.
been rerun head coaches that have been previously fired non-championship winning head coaches. You know, Frank Vogel was highly
Yep.
regarded, decorated head coach all these years with the Pacers. So when he came over, he had a little bit of juice behind him. But the Lakers have taken a lot of chances on guys that just really hadn't proved to do shit before then. Byron Scott, not really had proved shit to do much. Luke Walton, not really had proved shit to do much. Darvin Ham definitely hadn't proved shit to do much, right? So this is not only the most highly decorated head coach that the Lakers have been attached to in years. This is a head coach, by all intents and purposes, was not available. That's what it gets me excited, bro. And I'm sure other teams may have kicked the can, called
Mm-hmm.
Dan Hurley's agent, asking, hey, would he like to come play for, coach the Orlando Magic, right? The Utah Jazz, whoever. But like you said, that Laker phone call, that whatever area code, right? That LA area code pop up on the phone. You sit up and you see it a little bit. You're like, huh?
Gotta listen.
I might have to talk about this, right? And then obviously the money portion on the end, it hopefully, like we said at the beginning, that is no issue for us. One thing that is is dope to me about this is it's not like Dan Hurley is riding the coattails of the glory days of his
Mm-hmm.
head coaching achievements. He is in his prime right now,
Yep.
today, as the back-to-back head coach, championship winning head coach in the NCAA men's basketball. You go, that's the top of the top, bro. And you'll let me know. I don't watch college as much. He seemed pretty confident going into the tournament that his team was the best team and that they were going to win. And that kind of energy and his preparation. Some people, when you are that prepared, that confidence has no other choice but to shine through. So, what just from what you know, Dan Hurley, UConn days, or any of his acumen that he's potentially bringing to the Lakers, Alex, what are you most excited about if this were to happen?
I don't watch a whole lot of college basketball like I did when I was a kid. But what I'll say is that there's a lot of excitement around this. And I had to ask people like, okay, I know he won back-to-back chips, but like, why is he good? And I had people talking about his player development, his offensive schemes. And I went and watched a clip from him talking to JJ Redick, coincidentally, and he talked about layering his offense and having multiple actions out of formations. Like, it looks like he knows what I mean, look, you win back-to-back championships, you know what you're talking about, right? The question is, can his offense translate to the NBA? And Woj said multiple coaches have told him that it can. And I saw LeBron's comment about Dan Hurley's offense that he's excited about it. So I think that it can translate. My I was looking at what he makes at UConn. So he signed a 6-year, $32 million deal. So he makes about $5 million a year.
Yeah, yeah,
And if he leaves UConn for another college, he has to pay UConn back 7.5 million. If
yeah.
he jumps to the NBA, he's got to pay UConn back 1.875 million.
Oh,
So look,
perfect.
he's making five he's making 5 million a year and he's got to give them back almost 2 million. The Lakers could easily double his salary. I mean, there's like this, like if you're going to get him out, like give him 10 million a year. He's on a 6-year deal. I'm tired of us seeing new coaches every 2 years. Look, you know what? Give him a 10-year deal. If it doesn't work out, who cares? Eat the money. But give him a 10-year deal, like double his salary, and let's see where all of this goes. Like, but a lot of people seem to be excited. It's funny. He was, it was announced this morning, and like all of a sudden, nobody cares about JJ Redick anymore. And when you stack him up against Redick, Borrego, whoever else is out there they're talking to, Mike and Nori, they don't stack up, man. They just don't. And you're right in terms of excitement. Like when Phil Jackson left the Lakers the first time, we brought in Rudy T. We've talked about this before. Rudy T was a two-time, two-time championship coach, but that didn't work out. They tried to get Coach K, that didn't work out, and then they brought it. Byron Scott. He went to the finals a couple times with Jason Kidd's Nets. So Byron did have good teams, but that didn't work out. Vogel won a chip with us. He had already been to the Eastern Conference Finals several times, but he was the Lakers' third choice when they were even interviewing coaches back then. Like, there seems to be genuine excitement around this. And I'll say this, man. I'll say this. I swear to you, I thought, okay, they brought in Coach K as a consultant. And the whole reason for that is Coach K is going to point them in the direction of JJ Redick. And here we are. Coach K coached Bobby Hurley, who won 2 chips at Duke, and Bobby Hurley is Dan Hurley's brother. And it's like, maybe this really was where, like, maybe they did not. My thinking is the Lakers had a direct line to JJ Redick through LeBron, had a direct line to him. But I don't know if anyone in the front office had a direct line to Dan Hurley. And so to me, Coach K probably is that line to Dan Hurley. And you know what, man? College coaches don't always work out in the NBA, but let's go for it. I don't want an assistant. I don't want someone that's never coached. If you're going to bring in someone, bring in the best head coach in college. If you can't get the best person in the NBA, get the best college coach, and let's go for it.
1,000%. Lakers have been linked to previous college coaches in the past, right? There was little Kevin Ali rumors when he
Yes.
came off the championship at UConn, right? Obviously, Coach Cal has, that his name's always been connected with the franchise.
Yep.
Even, our boy at Villanova, Jay Wright, when he was there, right? And he was at the top of the total poll. I was like, oh, is he ever going to make a jump? And it's all of those championships, right, coincided with eras of the Lakers where it was downtime. So I was like, well, maybe we can cherry pick the top of the top over on the coaching side, since it seems like the NBA circuit of coaches, either you're getting the reruns or the Lakers are missing on the up and coming head coaches, and they're choosing the wrong ones to believe and invest in and give 5-year deals to. Side note, shout out Darvin Ham counting that money for the next 3 seasons. It must be nice. I don't think there's a better job in sports than a fired head coach with multiple years left on his deal. Like, Frank Vogel can retire tomorrow and not got to worry about shit. He has generational wealth just off the places he's been fired from. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. They might give me 6 months severance. Right? I've been in my job 7 years. They might give me 6 months severance. But they gave Frankie Smokes to not coach a basketball team no more. Brother, you don't want to know what I do for that. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Ricky with Late Night Lake Show. Real quick, just wanted to send some flowers, send some love to one of our A1 Day Ones, friends of the show, Prize Picks. They've been rocking with us since this account, and this whole operation was in its infancy, way before we have grown to the production that we are here today. And we can't thank them enough for believing in the engine that is LNLS. And to show our love, we got a new promo code for y'all. Type in the promo code CLNS for up to $100 deposit match on your first deposit. That's right. You already know how Prize Picks is coming, man. It is the #1 daily fantasy experience. You make your picks higher or lower. You make 2 to 3 selections. And if you hit, you might be able to cash out on a nice little 5, 10, 15, 25, all the way up to 100 times your deposit. It's exciting. The NBA season is winding down, but you got WNBA action. I'll be watching Angel Reese and Chicago Sky this summer. Can't wait to check them out. You know how Prize Picks is. Make your bets, win you some money, give them the shout out, and give Late Night Lake Show a shout out too. Promo code CLNS. Peace. So the Lakers are locked in. trying to go. I think they're going to go visit Dan Hurley and his beautiful Connecticut residence, wherever he is. Jeannie and Rob seems like they are leading the charge to bring him in. We talk about who on the Lakers, as far as their superstars, are involved in these types of discussions. Is it LeBron? Is it Anthony Davis? Is it a mixture of both? Is it neither one? We don't know. What we do know is LeBron James is a fan of Dan Hurley, and ironically, so is JJ Redick. When they reacted to some of Dan Hurley's offensive coaching schemes and his staff over at UConn. LeBron has tweeted out on their Mind the Game podcast in a social media post talking about he's so damn good, along with his staff. Super creative with their offense. Love it. All right. I mean, if we could transfer that love and affection to NBA games, I think we'll already be in good shape. You move over to Anthony Davis. The Woj article talks about the Lakers have been committed to making All NBA forward Anthony Davis a significant part of the conversation on the
Yep.
next head coach, and we want to make sure he's aligned with how a new coach plans to feature him on offense, defense. Sources said. So, I mean, we talked about James Borrego and the AD connection. The last pod we were together. The Lakers obviously JJ Redick is so funny. I thought of the Toy Story meme of "I don't want to play with you anymore." That's how Lakers fans are
Mm-hmm.
treating JJ Redick, just dropping him off to the side. Now that we got a new shiny toy to infatuate over for the next, I don't know, finals week. Um, Side note, man, this has to be all intentional by the Lakers, right? Boston, NBA Finals, Game One. Hey, Woj, Big Woj. Hey, before you even get on the air this morning, my brother, we got something for you. Go ahead, deliver this to the people. And what's the conversation of today? It's going to be Dan Hurley in the Los Angeles Lakers,
Yep.
the top head coach in college basketball and the largest and biggest NBA franchise, possibly marrying as one. Oh yeah, there's game one of the NBA Finals tonight as well. It's crazy, and I mean, you even saw it. The Kyrie interview at the NBA Finals, right? The media availability. Number one,
Yep.
first question they asked, brother. Hey, so did you see LeBron's comments on how he misses you? Why don't you tell us a little bit about
Yep.
that? It's so nasty. It's so, but this is our world. Sorry about everybody else, but this is the world we get to enjoy and bask in. Never a dull moment in Lakerland, brother. Alex, what happened? What happened with your boy Shams? What's going on here, bro? I'm looking at this. Hang on, I'll do some picture in picture. I was testing it out to make sure that it worked earlier, but let's just take a look at what we have here. I knew something was up yesterday. I promise you, I knew something was up yesterday. I had tweeted out. I was like, "Hey, anybody go and like spin the block on that Shams article and how the words are even put together?" Lakers zeroing in on JJ Redick as front runner to be next coach. Sources. Bro, the title right there tells you we kind of guessing, or we think we know, but we still not sure that even JJ is number one / they're going to hire him. The floor is yours, Alex. What are we going on? Who can we trust in the media these days if we can't trust Shams at the Athletic?
I mean, the crazy part about this is like JJ Redick said this would be addressed after the finals. So, like, look, either
Maybe JJ
either
in on
Sham,
it.
yeah, it's like, look, either Shams straight up lied or his sources fed him some, uncredible information. I don't know, man. Like, it's a bad look. Like, look, it's one thing to say the Lakers are talking to JJ Redick. He's one of the front runners, whatever, right? Once you use language like zeroing in,
Mm-hmm.
like you make it sound like this is inevitable, right? And so for this to have dropped yesterday and then 4 a.m. Eastern today, Woj says, no, 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 no. The entire time Dan Hurley has been who they wanted. Some like it don't look good for Shams. Like I'm on Twitter now and like he's getting roasted over that.
Getting cooked, man.
So I don't know. Like it's not a good look. It's certainly not a good look for the Athletic. So I don't know. Like you're in the room. Like these guys are in the rumor business. So obviously, all these things are just rumors. Even the Woj stuff, nothing is the ink has not dried. So we don't know if Hurley's even going to be the coach. But zeroing in on JJ Redick, and then 10 hours later, the entire time Hurley has been the guy. Like It's so it. I said to you before, man. Like this is so Rob Pelinka for him to have someone else in mind and the media
Mhm.
to get it completely wrong. And to your point, I wouldn't be surprised if this leaked on purpose because Boston's in the finals. I mean,
Yep.
the Lakers hate Boston. We don't like Boston at all, us as fans. And whether it's the LeBron comments about Kyrie and Kyrie answering LeBron stuff, overshadowing some of the finals, or Kyrie's love and affection for Kobe and him talking about that as he enters this most recent finals, and now the Dan Hurley stuff, or even JJ Redick, he's calling the finals. He's the Lakers for a team that didn't make it out the first round.
Mhm.
They sure are getting a lot of attention this finals run.
Yeah. Yeah, we like that. We like commandeering the moment. We like stealing the moment, man. Spotlight stealers. That's what the franchise does. If it's not us, it's gonna be talking about us. One way or another,
Yep.
we leaving with something. We're leaving with something. And it might be the top head coach in college basketball. This is all exciting stuff, man. Yeah, I saw on Twitter too. They're talking about they used Meet the Grams to talk to Shams, talking about you lied. You lied about JJ Redick. You lied about the front runner and zeroing in. I'm like, oh my God, it's not even 10 a.m. Folks, God, this is that unfiltered, non-caffeinated hate. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Shams, you'll be all right, brother, but not a good look. I guess we have to acknowledge that Woj is, still, still kind of up there looking down at the top of the mountain peak. So, Chris Haynes, we won't shout you out, bro, but use part of that clip too. All indications, all signs point to it's all good. It's all good. Your underlying point though, Alex. Let's bring it to the light. Um, Rob in the front office. If this is going to be Dan Hurley as head coach, they did a smokescreen masterclass.
Yep.
Smokescreen masterclass. This is following up on the transactions, not this previous season, but the D'Lo trade deadline stuff that no one saw coming. To your point, this is now starting to piece together, getting back towards moving in silence behind the scenes, and maybe letting some of the other media members of the media get fed some of the leaks that we're okay with. Our real moves we're keeping under the right breast pocket, and
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna move like that. And then, hey, sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas. And I think dropping this on finals day is a pop out by Rob and company, man. So I don't know. I don't care what the number is. You said a 10-year deal. I think I'm cool with a 5-year deal for sure. I think anything under 4 gets a little weird. Like, why? You just signed this man from a whole nother industry. Let's give him some security.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think he jumps for anything less than 5 years.
I agree. It has to be. It has to be. You're moving. And also, you're moving across the country, man. There's a whole lot going down. Here's my question before we get up out of here. Lakers have played both sides of the fence of we're gonna let the head coach pick his coaching staff, and we're kind of gonna tell him who's gonna be on his coaching staff.
Mm.
Hurley's a well-decorated college coach with some history with him and his staff. How do you see that piece playing out? Are the Lakers going to let this man do his thing and make his coaching staff in his image? Or do you see them doing the most like they did with Ty Lue and start saying, nah, we need you to put these pieces together?
You know what? Like they basically told Vogel who had to be on his staff, and it was a really good staff. They let Darvin pick his staff, and it wasn't a good staff. Hurley's too decorated to tell him who to put on the team on his staff. But what I'll say is that if he's going to bring his UConn staff, you got to put an NBA, like a former NBA head coach or somebody on that staff too. Like
For
you
sure.
have to. Who that is, I don't know, but they got to put a former head coach on that staff with him. But you can't. I don't think you can tell him dump your staff and pick all these other guys. You can't tell him you have to hire Rondo or you have to bring in JJ Redick or you have to bring in Jared Dudley. You can't say that.
Forgot about Rondo.
Now,
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me if Redick ends up on the staff. I could see a path there. Whether or not I don't know, but I can see a path. But yeah, you can't tell him to put no. Like here, ultimately, here's the thing, man. He's at UConn. They could very well three-peat. Like they could very well three-peat. And so if he's gonna jump, it's gotta be his way, or else
Right.
why leave UConn at all? Like why come here, be told what to do, it fizzle out in 2 years, and you just gave up the UConn coaching job. Like so it's gotta be his way. I don't know. They get weird with these coaching staffs, man. Like I don't understand it. Like Vogel was an experienced coach, and you pick his staff, and Darvin was an inexperienced coach, and you let him pick his own staff. You let Luke pick his own staff. Like, just let him bring his guys. See if you can get a former head coach on the team with him, NBA head coach, and let these guys rock. I mean, and my last point, I assume this deal has, if it happens, it's got to happen quickly, because recruits who have signed on to go to UConn have 30 days to transfer. And then you got the NBA draft coming up also. So like if you're going to make him the coach and he's got to come, to your point, across the country, like you got to do this now.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, like that shit's gotta, we gotta start moving. That's a great point, bro. Like, yeah, there's some pretty key dates on the horizon, not even to mention free agency, right? So oh man,
Yep.
it does make me think about 17 now. Would Hurley want to keep 17 as a college coach? You know, like when the Harbaugh went from Michigan to
Yep.
the Chargers, he was like, oh yeah, no, he's got an advantage because he knows all those players more intimately. So I don't know. I'm still Mr. Fuck them picks, but I would be more interested to see what he would want to do since he is the subject matter expert in college basketball players. So
If you're going to keep the 17 pick, it's got to be for like a 22, 23-year-old. It can't be for no 19-year-olds, no 18. Like it's got to be for a guy that's in his early 20s that can at least play spot minutes. You know, if somebody's injured, can step in. It can't be a development project, man. Not with this current roster.
no, I mean they've already reserved their development project for Bronny at 55, which is like, hey, for the record, I'm cool with it. I just, the more we talk about this out loud, like, hey, the Lakers are probably going to go after Bronny at 55 or trade up or buy into the second round higher up to draft him. It's like, great, now you got all these other teams just hearing your master plan, and yes, why not waste, even though it wouldn't be a waste. Obviously, Bronny's a very talented prospect, but why wouldn't they just use it just to stash Bronny away, develop him on their own, and then why wouldn't OKC buy into the second round and go and get Bronny, right? Though, like, I think it would be amazing if we get a Dan Hurley. Lakers use that 17 pick to get a win now player, a piece. You go and get Bronny however you can in the second round. And now look, Bronny, you got one of the best college developmental coaches, period. Let's see what this does. That would be perfect case scenario right now. You know how I know that life ain't perfect. So we'll keep the main thing. Back the damn Brinks truck up to this man's house and get this job done. Get this done before the week end. By Sunday, I need an announcement. Before game 3, we need an announcement. Brother. Let's make it happen.
100%.
All right.
That's what I'm thinking. Give it the date by Sunday. Get it done.
Get her done. All right, we gonna get up out of here though. Alex, you got work, I got work. It's just I don't know. I haven't even had the morning coffee. I'm just still drinking the morning water right now. And Lakers Nation got us ready to go, top of the top. So exciting stuff. We'll be monitoring the Dan Hurley situation closely. Try to get this podcast out as soon as possible because the announcement could not technically be made at any time. So we appreciate y'all rocking with us on this episode of the Late Night Lake Show podcast. As always, if you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and follow us wherever you get your hashtag good content. Alex, my brother, good stuff, man. You enjoy the rest of your Thursday, bro.
You too, man.
All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Late Night Lake Show. We out. Peace.
Peace.